The most polarizing words in sports. The question of the day is, are the Nebraska Huskers actually back? This news got hot and spicy over the past weekend as the #1 quarterback in the country and the #1 recruit in the country, Dylan Raiola, visited Nebraska with his pops for a little boys' weekend to a basketball game in Nebraska where the fans went absolutely berserk, starting to chant, "Dylan, Dylan, Dylan." Now, I can tell you one thing. If he went to a Georgia basketball game, I don't think they'd be chanting Dylan. They might be chanting Stetson, but not Dylan. Okay? What I mean by that is 5 stars come through Georgia all the time, just like they do in Alabama. But people don't get too excited when a 5-star comes through like they would in Nebraska. What that does for a kid's ego and how that makes him feel, untouchable. Now, his ties to Nebraska are absolutely huge, as this is his 6th unofficial visit. Again, an unofficial visit is when you pay your own way, right? And the school's not paying for it. You are choosing to go there. And again, with his uncle there, obviously his dad being an alum, just an easy boys weekend and fly up to Nebraska real quick, go hang out, see what the fam's doing. No problemo. Very easy to recruit while you're there, chit-chat, see how it's going. It's just an organic, natural way to recruit this kid to Nebraska. Now, before I get into why Nebraska is a very appealing place for Dylan to go to and why it seems more appealing than it does on paper, he would be the highest recruit of all time to go to Nebraska, and the highest since 2005 when Marlon Lucky, running back out of California, 5-star stud, 14th ranked nationally, and the 2nd running back in the country went there. Back in 2005. It's been a while. So not only would this be massive for Nebraska, but it would be an absolute staple, a hammer, a stamp, a big suck it, I'm coming from Matt Rhule to the rest of college football, as this is his first year back into college football. There's been a lot of hype being built up between him and Coach Prime in that rivalry game. They've already battled it out with one 4-star athlete in the last year's recruiting cycle. It is going to be absolute mayhem if he were to land this #1 quarterback. We know what #1 quarterbacks can do, as we saw what Texas did last year when they landed Arch Manning. Ton of studs came flying through. #2, top 5 running back, a top 5 wide receiver, and I want to say a top 5 offensive tackle, all from just being able to pull somebody like an Arch Manning. And I got to be honest, I would expect Dylan to make his announcement probably within the next 30, maybe 60 days, because these quarterbacks got to get in early. They got to start the staple. They got to get this thing to start building, okay? The Gators did very well with that. Other colleges are doing well with that. Nebraska wants to be early with that as well. All right, so now why Nebraska over Georgia? Georgia has won back-to-back natties, just known to pump out studs. I hear you. I don't disagree with you. But that's a lot of hype. It's a lot to live up to, okay? So if I'm Matt Rhule, I go, hey, Dylan, okay? You could go down with Kirby Smart, pumping out studs one after the other, 5-star after 5-star, Tesson Bennett, 2-time champion. You might even give yourself a ring, okay? But the hype that is there right now, you're just going to go there and be another 5-star added to the mix. Nobody's going to know who Dylan Raiola is, okay, in 3 years. Because that's when you're going to be starting. You're going to play for a year. You're going to do well enough to go to the NFL draft, and we're all going to forget about you, okay? Or you come to Nebraska. We've been mid forever, okay, kid? You come here. The Big Ten is weak as ever. Ryan Day is on his last leg. Jim Harbaugh can't find his ass from his head, okay? You come out here, you do big things out here in Nebraska, you're going to get a statue, kid. Okay, you'll go 1st-round draft pick because you'll be the hottest thing since sliced bread coming out of the Big Ten. Okay, and you have to have a good career, not an explosive career, a good career. There's no pressure. You're a legacy kid. They're gonna love you forever. Okay, you're gonna be chanting Raiola forever and ever. Your name's gonna be in the banner next to your pops. Okay, it's a no-brainer. And we're talking about NIL. If Nebraska is back, ladies and gentlemen, it is great for college football, okay? He has no issues getting himself some NIL deals. People will be throwing this kid cheddar. Not that he really needs the cheddar, but I promise you he will be getting that cheddar. And not to mention Matt Rhule's connection to the NFL, okay? It seems like an absolute no-brainer. If Kirby Smart is able to rip Dylan Raiola out of Nebraska and Matt Rhule, either one or two things. Matt Rhule is in way over his head and he sucks, or Kirby Smart is an absolute G, and the rest of us should be absolutely scared for what this man could do, because Nebraska seems like the place to go. And it begs the question, could we see a shift in college football? Is it happening right before our eyes where the likes of Georgia and Bama are going to start to decline? Not fall off, simply decline, because kids are going to want to start going elsewhere to build their own legacy, to be able to stand out so their NILs are much bigger. Because if they go to somewhere like a Georgia, right, with multiple 5-stars, they might fall under the radar. Their NIL evaluation may dip because of that. But if they go to a school and they can be that guy, they can be him at that respective school and collect big on an NIL deal and be the man at that school, why wouldn't you? Interesting take to see how this all plays out. I want to know from you guys in the comments, what do you think? Where do you think he goes? He was crystal ball today, by the way, from 247 to Nebraska. Pretty interesting. Not by Steve Wilfong yet, which we all know how much of luck that is, but we will see how this plays out. Hope you guys liked today's video. Make sure you like, subscribe.